Why you decided to make Joe the backup and not Shedeur?
Yeah, Joe's the backup.
Was there, along with changing to Dylan, was there any conversation at all about moving Shadur up to number 2 and making him?
My focus is on this game. Joe's the backup.
Listen, I don't understand why you can't push Shedeur as your QB2. That's me personally. I don't get that part. And here's the reason I'm saying that. Flacco knows Father Time has caught up to him, that he's not what he used to be. Yep. He's happy to be on an NFL roster to contribute in any way that he possibly can. He knows that he's a stopgap for the young guns coming up the rear. He knows that. So there's nothing wrong with putting him at the QB3 spot.
When Shadur does anything, it's always critique. Mm-hmm. What I don't like is you may not be able to relate to what he's doing or how he's doing it, but you can't control and make it be what you want it to be, because it's not that.
The discussion around Shedeur Sanders has taken another dramatic turn, and this time the focus is on Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski. In a recent press conference, Stefanski made a bold statement that has sent shockwaves through the sports world. He declared that Shedeur Sanders is not in the running to be the backup quarterback for Dillon Gabriel. Instead, it's Joe Flacco who has been replaced by Gabriel, raising some serious questions among analysts and fans alike. Why would Stefanski choose Flacco, who has struggled in recent years, over the young and talented Sanders? It's a move that has left many wondering whether there's something more at play here. Is Stefanski trying to keep Shedeur Sanders out of the QB2 spot on purpose? With all the hype surrounding Sanders' potential, this decision has analysts scratching their heads. Cam Newton didn't hold back when reacting to Stefanski's statement about making Joe Flacco the backup quarterback. He came out lashing at the Browns head coach, claiming that Shedeur Sanders is being treated unfairly. Newton, who knows the grind of being a quarterback in the NFL, made it clear that he's not wrong to question the treatment Sanders is receiving. According to Newton, what's happening here is unprecedented. Shedeur Sanders, a fifth-round pick and third-string quarterback, has garnered a level of fan support rarely seen for someone in his position. Newton pointed out that Sanders is the first quarterback in NFL history to receive such an outpouring of support from fans, despite being a rookie in a relatively low-profile spot.
A person, not be a starter, not be second string, third string QB, a fifth-round pick, have this much.
Stephen A. Smith also chimed in on the controversy, raising a crucial point. Is Shedeur Sanders' placement on the depth chart really as insignificant as some are making it out to be? He strongly disagreed, arguing that it absolutely matters, especially when you consider the politics involved. Stephen A. pointed out that Sanders fell to the 144th pick in the draft, not due to any lack of talent, but because of the perception surrounding his father's influence in the league. Given this context, Stephen A. emphasized that we need to closely examine Sanders' position on the depth chart. He suggested that the Browns, in particular, are still working to control the narrative surrounding Sanders and how he's viewed by the media, the fans, and other teams. This isn't just a simple decision about who's backing up who. It's a statement, and Stephen A. believes it's one we can't afford to ignore.
In Shedeur Sanders' case, 144th overall, it mattered. Yep. You know that, Peter. You know that, Swag. It matters because it was Shedeur Sanders, and we got the impression that it wasn't just football, it was something about his dad. So what I'm saying to you is that we're beyond all of that now to some degree, and we get that part, but that doesn't mean the residue doesn't still exist in terms of people wanting to control the narrative when it comes to that young man.
Stephen A. Smith was firm in his belief that keeping Shedeur Sanders in the third spot on the depth chart isn't about football strategy. He argued that the true motive behind this decision is the Browns' attempt to silence the growing noise surrounding Sanders. As more and more fans are demanding to see him on the field, the organization seems to be trying to control the narrative and prevent any distractions from overshadowing the team. However, as Stephen A. pointed out, that won't stop the fans from questioning why Sanders isn't getting a chance to play. The pressure is building, and fans are not backing off. They want answers, and as long as Shedeur remains on the sidelines, the scrutiny is only going to intensify. Stephen A. Smith made it clear that the pressure on the Cleveland Browns is escalating with each passing day. As the team's offensive struggles continue to worsen, Smith emphasized that Shedeur Sanders can no longer be overlooked. With everything going on in Cleveland, there's no way you can keep ignoring a talent like Sanders, he said. Smith believes that, with the growing expectations and the team's urgent need for a boost, the Browns will eventually have no choice but to give Sanders a shot. The increasing pressure from fans, the media, and the team's lackluster performance on the field all point to one conclusion: Sanders has earned the right to start. The situation is reaching a tipping point, and sooner or later, the Browns will have to face the reality that Sanders deserves his opportunity.
Taking all of that into consideration, that's why we know we're going to see him, because we know that pressure is mounting. The more inept they are offensively, the less of an excuse you're going to have to submerge him. If you got Dylan Gabriel, you're going to throw him out there.
After Stefanski's statement that he's not even considering Shedeur Sanders as a backup, Sanders has made it clear that being sidelined is no longer part of his plan. He's adamant that he's ready for a starting role and has the talent to back it up. While he's been patient up until now, Shadur admitted to feeling frustrated by the lack of opportunity to prove himself, especially when he believes he's earned a spot in the starting lineup.
This is the first time we've heard him express dissatisfaction with his current situation, and if things continue to unfold this way, it could ignite a fresh controversy. However, it's still early in the process, and there's a lot more yet to come in this saga. As tensions rise, all eyes will be on how the Browns handle this situation and whether Shedeur's frustration leads to any major changes in the depth chart. Shedeur Sanders hasn't been shy about voicing his belief that he's a better option than the quarterbacks currently on the Cleveland roster. He didn't hold back, even targeting Joe Flacco, expressing full confidence that, if given the chance, he could outperform the others. In a bold move, Shadur went as far as to claim that he's better than some of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Though frustrated with being stuck on the scout team, Shadur understands that it's a necessary step to prove his worth and earn his shot. What's clear is that he's determined to make an impact and will do whatever it takes to secure his place in the league. The fire and confidence he's showing suggest he's not backing down anytime soon.
Overall, this isn't my end goal, I'm just enjoying myself, learning, doing everything I have to do, and just ready for my opportunity.
How frustrating can that be when you look around?
Everybody perspective, so, that's not nothing, in my place to answer. That's nothing I can't not answer, but I know for sure I'm not, I know if you see the quarterback play in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that.
In conclusion, the situation surrounding Shedeur Sanders has evolved into a serious point of contention, and analysts are no longer aligned with the Cleveland Browns' approach. Many now view Stefanski's decision to sideline Sanders as a deliberate attempt to prevent him from securing the starting spot too soon. What started as a simple evaluation of talent has morphed into a much larger debate about control, perception, and power. Stefanski's refusal to even consider Sanders for the backup role, especially with the fan and media outcry, is being seen by many as a move to suppress the rise of a young, talented quarterback who may disrupt the current narrative. Shedeur has shown he's more than ready to take on the challenge, but it seems the Browns are hesitant to allow him the opportunity to prove it. As the pressure builds from every corner, it's clear that the team is trying to keep him in check, perhaps longer than necessary. However, this is where the fans come in. The power of the fan base should not be underestimated. It is up to the fans to continue showing their unwavering support for Shadur, to keep calling his name, and to make it known that they believe he deserves his chance on the field. The louder the voices, the harder it will be for the Browns to ignore the growing demand. Ultimately, the fate of Shedeur Sanders may come down to a battle of wills. If the fans continue to rally behind him, there's a strong chance that the Browns will be forced to make a decision. It's time for Shadur to be given the opportunity he's worked so hard for, and the fans have a significant role in making that happen. What do you think about all of this? Is Stefanski's decision to keep Shedeur Sanders sidelined a sign of a bigger issue within the Browns organization? Or is it just part of the natural progression of a rookie quarterback? Do you agree with analysts who believe the Browns are trying to suppress Shedeur's rise? Or do you think there's a valid reason behind their choices?
And most importantly, how much influence do you think the fans can have in changing this situation? Should they continue to rally behind Shadur and demand he gets his shot, or is it too early to push for such a big move? Let us know your thoughts. This is a debate that's only going to heat up from here.